I just have to check something. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Glitchy back with another video, and today I will be doing another Stanley Parable stream, as you can see. Right now, I'm just gonna see if I can get sick. If I sneeze anytime through this, it's the morning and I haven't had, I really need just to fucking sneeze, but yeah. But yeah. Let me just... Alright, so let's get up to 8 AM. I'll wait like a couple more seconds. But yes, it is 8:34 AM. Hang on. Before we get started, just can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you booted up the game. A lot of people don't take this step seriously, and they just leave the clock set at 12 and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the time you are setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you're so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see this screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whatever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You've earned it. Alright, let's get back to the video game now. Yeah. But this is what you get if you start the clock both times, and this is where we left off. Stanley Parable 2 stuff. What else have I done? Let's have on the outside ending. Oh, you know what? Let's do the bucket ending.
This is the story.
We're gonna do the bucket ending. I don't know what's going on with my... Give me a minute. Sorry about that. I had to just set some
All of his
things up.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Welcome to the bucket ending. Is this a bucket?
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
I already know the order of
Item 2.
this.
Is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
I'm going for all I want just to fail this.
Item 3. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Yeah, it is. It is a bucket.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor.
It's a bucket.
It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
A working tractor, yes.
Is this a bucket? Incorrect. This is a bucket.
See? Right.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
I don't remember this one.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
It's a bucket and it's not a bucket. It's sick.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Yes, it's a bucket.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something. And therefore nothing could possibly be something.
What?
Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is?
I do.
Am
No.
I a bucket?
I do.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. but I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
5,
Okay,
4,
here we go.
3, 2, 1, gone.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait,
Everything's a bucket.
was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea.
Yes.
How could...
Naruto.
Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person. Alright, here we go.
I don't think you guys want to hear that one. I'm joking. Yeah. Bucket ending for ya. Now we can do the family ending, which I've not done yet, actually.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Excuse me.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider. Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Really is worth it.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Including his boss. We were just in this room for a little bit longer.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue. But when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
No, it's not. It's really not. I don't see if there's any more dialogue, because fuck it, why not?
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room, and took the first open door on his left to get back to
Damn
business.
it, I wanted to see if I could get back into the room. It's fucked.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
We'll get the Figlies in a minute.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please,
Your wife.
stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley.
I
Your
got you.
chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
I think I can get the adventure.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To
Pick up the phone and talk to her and go back to your normal life. God damn. There is bucket endings for everything, by the way. Even.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about
Your damn
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to
No.
commit their life to you?
No.
I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Alright.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. Not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried...
And that is that ending, I'm pretty sure.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
What I'm doing is I'm just trying to get every piece of dialogue at this point.
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right, then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired. Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home, here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home. Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge. Clearly, the bucket and the employee lounge shared a special connection.
Yep. This is fun gameplay, isn't it?
But finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get... And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
But no, Stanley didn't listen. He went down the elevator and entered a loading screen.
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it. Whee! see, look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Ho ho, I'm grabbing my bucket and following this adventure
Now
line.
this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up. Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Goodbye, bucket.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
I tried. I wanted to see what would happen.
Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Alright, that's that ending for you guys. Also, but yeah.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
We're gonna try every door on the way.
Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office because he doesn't pick up well on cues from his environment. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping him coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, I don't know about this at all. I never actually got this ending before. You're getting my live reaction on stream today, guys. Let's see. Business strategy, and I don't know what that one says.
Stepping into...
That isn't even relevant anymore. Fig leaves, Dan. Door 428 is open now. You are now leaving. Oh shit, I need to do this with the bucket. Oh, I can't even go downstairs, alright. Welcome to the escape pod ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference. Nor did it advance that when Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Alright, anyway. If you guys enjoyed that for then, but now we will just...
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't helpful. For a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Sorry guys, just have to... There you go.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Okay, next I have to do the downstairs one. No, I wouldn't.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Blah blah blah, I do not believe you, blah blah blah. Watch. I'm just giving dialogue off it.
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he's, nope, still on board with death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Oh yeah, why not? We'll do the longest ending possible. We'll listen to the narrator each time. He says turn back. Oh, nope, I'm not gonna do that. You thought.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Come on, all fall down.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is.
Anyway,
perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Scene from development of the boss's office. Starts off like that, then it goes to there, then it goes to there. Office clock. Is it actually in the same? I was over. That would be fucking sick if I was in the same fuck time, but no, it doesn't.
It's the kind of thing you'd pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to
the
solve
voice
it.
narrator recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over the 2-year development. These are clips from early takes that were not used in the final game.
Oh, I don't know. How about they're throwing a surprise party for him for all his button pushing?
The Lounge. Underground, an early version of Underground portion of the game. I think I played it whenever it was on this. Like, the first time I ever played the Stanley Parable was on that one, but I don't remember. But Freedom Ending, this is the very first incarnate of the Freedom Ending the game's out for. I remember that. Countdown desk. For the time the elevator in the monitor room could go up or down, from freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down, and placed the two endings together instead. Monitor elevator. For a time the elevator in the monitor room could go up and down and from above, yeah, blah blah. We just read about that. Game design mock-up. That's cool. Amazing. Stanley's office. From left to right evolved. The evolution of Stanley's office over the time: the first created on November 2011, the second on March, and the third in February. This is the first office, this is the second office, and this is the final office. What's different between these two? Oh, just the fucking shit on the desk and there's not another monitor. Oh, sick. Oh, it's the same battery, so by the way, guys, every single time. An early version of the lounge. Oh, I do not remember that. It's not the office. Apartment timer. The previous just leading to the apartment any time I give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. And not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. The cargo, I don't remember that cargo lift. No, I didn't play the game when it was like this, but I love the ending. The ending went through many iterations. This is the fourth version of the ending, and we thought it was complete, but started to abandon and change it before to change it again shortly before launch. Ending. The screenshot depicts an early version of the ending known as ending, which eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. What part of the game is that? The ending levers. These levers were originally part of the ending, which players would have to pull down, and the narrator would describe the color they had pulled. How the fuck did you get to that part? Trailers were random. Oh, fuck's sake. That's just a trailer. But it's. The game is now paused. Begin game, resume game, return options, escape menu. For a long time, we had an ending that only ended when players restarted from the escape menu. Unfortunately, very few players realized this was what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. Oh, shit. Alright, so that's that. Okay, I just looped around. So that means I'm going to go down to the right now. Oh my god, I can't be bothered reading all that. Yeah, so they were also going to do a Warzone ending, but they didn't want to make fun of those games, even though they make fun of Firewatch at some point. Don't know if we went to the Firewatch area, but I'll figure out if we can go there. I'll make our way there. This stream at least, so then I know. But yeah, I'll be doing one of these streams every day until.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How
Yeah,
they wish to control
one
one another.
another.
How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not.
Yeah, no,
Sometimes
don't worry,
these
guys,
things
I'm
cannot be
stuck on
seen.
that.
But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program.
I'm not gonna force you guys to be listening to that. You quite literally just have to restart the game for that. But what is the Zending ending? Oh, the Zending. The Z ending. Zending. Hello, the one person I just is here. Alright, we're gonna see. Bucket or no bucket? Bucket this one.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
We'll go left today. Mission status. The search. I can get to him one today.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-Stans? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that.
Figlies
Another
are better.
Stanlerine under your belt.
Figlies are better. But yeah. Back on the Stanley Parable. Today we will be...
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines.
Aww.
Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
What is this room all about? That's my question.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this... But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully,
okay.
He fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall. Now, what to do next, Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here. So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here, a bit cold perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis. But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning. It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was inconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually. It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time. Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can. Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
What the fuck?
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
No one's following me or watching me.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Yep.
Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to
Well,
help
all
you, to
buckets.
show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I want it to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you. What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? No, wait. Where are you going? Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think... No! Oh, no. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Because I don't care about you, narrator.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Oh, my God. Is this really how much you dislike my game?
No, I'm trying to get...
You'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is, do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me?
I'll tease him.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Oh, and the nerd's so sad. Anyway. Even if this video isn't seen by a lot of people, just so that people realise that yes, I can. Why is this? Oh, that
Stanley, I'm sorry,
fucking trippy.
It's just,
I've done this before, but
those
it's trippy as
I haven't stopped thinking about them
Wow.
since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it
Keep
just the
going this
most
fucking wall
intrinsically
on the
fulfilling
inside.
moment of your entire life?
Okay, well, I'm actually gonna pause that right here for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. If you did, leave a like and subscribe, and see you all in the next stream or video. Peace.